to Christ to be straight, to turn from gay to straight. I gave my life to Christ because I was addicted to porn and I really needed help and I really wanted to change and I was so desperate for a change. And I remember this so clearly. Literally at the beginning of this year, I was on a roof. I was taking a break from work and I was talking to God and I said, hey, like, God, like I really need to be healed from all these addictions and I want to come to you, but I don't know if I can come to you because I don't know if I can be straight. And I said, I don't know if I can be straight. So why not just be gay and Christian? I was like, is that a thing? Can that be a thing? And as I kept asking him that, he just said, just come to me. He said, just come to me. He said, we'll worry about that later. He didn't even give me an answer. He said, just come to me. He said, just let me heal the broken pieces of you. He said, don't worry about it. Because I was heavily addicted to pornography. I would do it in the morning. I would do it in the middle of the day. I would do it at night before I go to sleep. I was ridden with a lot of anxiety and depression, and I didn't want to call it depression because we don't call it depression and we don't call it anxiety. Now I know that it was a spirit, but I would used to wake up and not want to go to work because it was just so frustrating and stressful. And I would use pornography and masturbation to cope. And it didn't work. It didn't satisfy. When I was younger, it did, but it just wasn't satisfying me. It was to the point where even at work, I would just watch porn and masturbate all the time. And so I knew something had to change. And so that's why I started to really come back to Jesus, come back to church because of that. It wasn't to be straight. It wasn't thinking about conversion or any of these things. And I know what I'm saying. Some people will not get it because the veil has not been lifted from their eyes and they're just so caught up in what they want to do. So that's fine. But this might be for somebody and I don't know who it is. But God just wants a relationship with you. He just wants to be with you. He wants to heal you. He's not worried about all this other stuff. All of this other stuff will come into alignment with him. He will make you clean. He will make you holy. He will make you righteous. But there's a lot of people who are suffering. And he wants to deal with that. He wants to heal that. There's a lot of brokenness from other things outside of questioning identity with your sex and gender and all that other stuff, because there's a root to it. And he wants to heal you. He wants to be the father that you never had. He wants to be the mother that you never had. He wants to give you the love that you never received. He wants to restore the innocence that was stripped away from you. He wants to be your home and your refuge. That's what he wants. That's what he did with me. And if he could do it for me, he could do it for you. But I just I have to set the record straight. I've said this before, but God told me to present this in this way. So hopefully in this way, this touches somebody. All right.
The enemy, man, he's something, I tell you. He pulled one of the greatest tricks of his, man. He fooled us. He fooled us, bro. He got a lot of people fooled. I used to think before I got saved, before I gave my life to God, I used to think, man, God don't want us to do this. God don't want us to do that. I used to think, man, I'm missing out on so much. That's why I be having so much sex. That's why I be smoking so much weed, drinking, partying, hanging with the wrong crowd, thinking that I'm living. Whole time I was dead, spiritually dead. I didn't even realize it. For most of my life, I was a non-believer. This is facts. And the first time I ever felt alive as an adult was when I gave my life to God. I finally felt alive, and I got it. I understood it right there. I'm like, man, this whole time I've been deceived. I've been tricked. I've been blind. You don't start living until you start living for God. Oh, y'all not hearing me? Oh, y'all not hearing me? This is fact. That's why I say God is constantly pulling the life out of them. You draining your energy. Constantly giving your energy to all these people. You draining yourself. Being around the wrong crowd, you draining yourself. Going out with people, smoking, drinking, partying. Like I said, I'm going to sound cuckoo. I'm going to sound like what y'all like to say, holier than thou. You know, because some people, that's just what it is. It don't matter how you spread the message, they going to reject it, and they going to say that you're judging them anyway. So it is what it is. Because I know what comes with it. When you get right with God, people going to cast their stones at you. But anyway, I got tricked, man. I feel alive right now. I feel alive. The closer I got to God, I understood. I said, man. And I said to myself, I said, I got my soul back. I said, I got my soul back. Because a lot of people, man, they out here working for the devil. They don't even realize it. They don't realize it. Like I say, when the devil comes to you, he not going to come to you in his form. Like I say, he going to shapeshift. He come to you with these drugs, the wrong, like I say, people, bro, I'm telling you. And until you wake up, y'all, for the ones that know, they know. Now I feel like, you know, I'm alive. I'm up. You get what I'm saying? The whole time I'm chasing pleasure, not knowing I'm spiritually dead. Dead. I'm telling y'all, bro. I used to hear them sins and used to think, well, what can we do? I'm finna be missing out on so much. I'm finna be missing out. Not knowing. That's God's way of protecting us. Trying to keep us safe. But, you know, for the ones that know, they know. So hopefully this resonates with somebody, you know. So if anybody thinking you missing out, oh no, you're not missing out. Because, man, the glory God got for us, man, the blessings that he got for us when you obey him, man, I'm telling y'all. But, you know, everybody got to walk their journey. That's why I'm going to spread my message. I'm going to pray for people, and I'm going to always meet y'all with grace because I've been there before. So why would I judge you? It's all love on my end. See God, man, and Jesus is the way. Facts.
So, I just started reading the Bible for the first time in my life, and I wanted to make a quick video explaining why I'm turning to Christianity as a first attempt to be religious over another religion. And a big part of it was I saw this video, I'm not sure who or what, but he was talking about how he researched different religions, and you know, Buddhism respect Jesus Christ as a path to salvation, that Hindus see him as a prolific teacher, that Muslims see him as a prophet, and they all regard him as a path to heaven. And, you know, the guy basically said if all these religions include Jesus in one way or another, but yet Jesus says that he is the only path, then you cover all the bases. And, you know, that seems strong to me. And then, aside from that, you know, from my understanding of the Quran and Muslim belief, they see the Bible as valid, and they see Jesus as a prophet. And from my understanding, if that's the case, then Muhammad would be a false prophet. So it's difficult for me to get behind that. And then Judaism have the Old Testament, of course, but they don't see Jesus as their prophet, which I believe was prophesized. I'm not sure what chapter, I haven't read that yet. But if that's the case too, then they are denying their own prophet. So I'm turning to Jesus because if God wanted us to believe in him, you know, he would send us some sort of evidence. And the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, if it did happen, seems to be the only real evidence that, you know, any religion has. Most of them are more philosophies and whatnot. They don't have someone coming down claiming to be God and proving it. And then the last thing is that it seems like Christianity is the most hated religion. You know, if you were to talk poorly on Judaism or Muslims, you'd be ostracized. But you get a pass to bash Christians. And, you know, maybe if the devil existed, that's exactly what he wants, to draw you away from the true religion. So I don't know if anything I just said is accurate. I'm still researching and only just started reading the first book of the Bible. But those are kind of my thoughts going in of why I'm even starting this journey. So yeah, make sure to stick around, and if you agree or disagree with something I said, please, educate me, and that's what I'm really trying to do. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it all and find the truth.
We actually went to a strip club.
Wow.
And then that night at the strip club, I almost died that night.
So, like, how did you come to Christ?
We both had pain. I was trying to find fulfillment in other women, so like we just came, two hurt people coming together, drowning their emotions in marijuana. The moment we would start like smoking, like we would start asking all those questions. Dad, like, do you believe in aliens? She had sage in her house.
You are a sage burner.
She had crystals.
Now you guys are in New Age. Now you guys are doing all that stuff. So how did you come to Christ?
I was chilling at my mom's house. I used to be like very addicted to masturbation and pornography. I would start having these conversations in my head about, if I just don't believe in the devil, I'll just make it to heaven.
And so now you're having conversations in your head like, okay, if the devil ain't real, it's just whatever.
And those conversations were going on before and after I would watch porn. I would feel like very like bad.
The Father started drawing you in.
He started drawing me in heavy. It just clicked. I was like, it's Jesus. My TikTok like switched around. I used to just see all this, worldly things on TikTok and whatever. And then out of nowhere, it just transitioned everything about Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I would see deliverance, healing. The video of you praying for the short black lady.
Oh,
that she dropped her cigarettes.
yeah. She had the crystal.
Yeah, she got healed. I was like, man, what the heck? And for some reason, I was so like drawn. I was like, man, what? Like, this is great.
Do I want to know God or not?
But why can't you know a different God? Why does this God have to be a Christian God?
Okay, well, the question is, who is God? And obviously, if you've got two contradictory ideas, the law of non-contradiction holds, right?
I mean, not always. Not even in science does that hold. You've got wave-particle duality. You've got two different ideas of how particles operate. And so they come together as one. And that's what I'm saying. Eastern religions, it's the idea of like, yes, my name is actually like one of the 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu's name. And so I'm primarily supposed to pray. I'm actually not a Hindu anymore, but I'm supposed to pray primarily to Vishnu. But if somebody else comes along, like, one of my Christian friends or you, and you believe in Christ and you believe in a different God than me, but he leads you to a more moral life. He leads you to lead a good life. I think that's wonderful. You're not going to get any of the punishment that you would have gotten in my... That's what I'm asking. Why does somebody who leads a perfectly moral life, a perfectly wonderful life, they give back constantly, why do they have to go to hell just because they don't believe in Jesus? Is he still an inherently... No, not inherently worse, but is he not deserving of a better place just because he hasn't accepted a historical fact that Jesus Christ died for our sins?
Well, it's not so much accepting an historical fact, it's accepting God. I mean, I can know that you stand here with a body, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm going to build a friendship with you, I'm going to have to learn to trust you, to actually love you, to build a friendship. And I don't have to. I can say, oh, no thanks. So the only people who go to hell are those who say, no, thank you. I'm out of here.
Wait, but no, because, I mean, there are plenty of atheists who are kind people, and they're friendly to everybody. They say, I want to get to know you. There are plenty of people
Yeah, but to God, I mean.
Oh, to God. Okay.
Right.
So then you're saying in other religions, in Hinduism, if they accept God, in this manner, but they're not accepting the Christian God, they're accepting their own God, that's okay.
Okay, I have to divide that question, which is a great one, into two parts.
Okay.
Those who have heard about Christ and those who have not heard about Christ.
Okay.
Those who have heard about Christ and reject Christ are saying no thank you to God, according to Christ.
To your God.
Well, according to what Jesus claimed.
Okay.
All right? According to what Jesus claimed, those who say no thank you to Jesus are rejecting God. Now, either Jesus is wrong or he's right.
Yeah, but I mean, how much does that really matter? Doesn't it matter the moral values that Christianity gives you? How much does it matter whether Jesus Christ was right or not? And this is what I'm saying. Like, these persons have connection with a God, with what they think is God. Why does it have to be your God?
It doesn't have to be my God. It's a question of, did Jesus speak the truth when he claimed to be God in human form, or was he lying?
That's that much important to Christianity.
Yeah.
It's not about the morals
Guess
and
what?
values.
That's true. No, and that's true for every religion.
No, because Hinduism, it's about what these myths teach you. I mean, and because some of these myths are absolutely ridiculous about, like, you know, gods turning into huge tortoises that help churn the ocean, blah blah blah. But it's not. It doesn't matter whether or not gods actually turned into huge tortoises.
Right.
What matters are the lessons of humility and doing your duty to your family and your world.
Right.
Those are the lessons that matter. It's not about whether this was historically true.
Right.
So why does it have to be the case with Christianity? Why does it have to be the case of Jesus Christ was lying or he was telling the truth?
Well, all right, hopefully this will help. Hi, my name's Cliff. What's your name? Mary? Ann. Okay. Now, not only am I being rude to Jennifer, I'm also being incredibly arrogant. I think that I know her name better than her. No, Cliff. False. The only way that I'm going to have the privilege of getting to know Jennifer is if Jennifer chooses to open up, speak the truth to me. Otherwise, I'm never going to have the privilege of getting to know Jennifer. The same thing is true with God. If there really is a God, I'm not smart enough to figure him out. I'm not smart enough to figure out Jennifer. I've got to have the humility to allow God to be God and to reveal whoever God is. He, she, it, they, whatever God is. That's where Jesus Christ comes into the picture. He claimed to be God, opening up and revealing who he really is. Now, obviously, either Jesus was a deluded fanatic or else he spoke the truth. Obviously, the majority of people who claim to be God, we lock up in mental hospitals.